I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, West Rocks. Today we are live from the Panther newsroom. My name is Lucia Passarelli.
And my name is Connor Morris.
Today is Wednesday, January 3rd, and it is an A-Day.
There will be no wind today. Students will stay in homeroom for advisory. And now over to Miss Amaral.
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. I hadn't seen many of you yesterday. Hope everybody had a really good day yesterday. Today's already Wednesday. I'm on this morning to talk to you about Chromebooks. A couple of big announcements. Next week on Tuesday, we are starting our MAP testing again, which means that all students are going to need a fully charged Chromebook for testing. With that said, homeroom teachers, Dr. Kreines will get you a list by end of day today of your homeroom with the devices that have been assigned to them from the Verizon Chromebooks. And if you would please, in the next 2 days, on Thursday and Friday morning during homeroom, check in with each of the students just to ensure that they do have their VILS device, and check in to see that they have a charger and that they're ready for testing, and leave any notes in that spreadsheet that he's going to share with you so that we can kind of get things squared away before next week. Students, if you have borrowed a loaner Chromebook from the library, Ms. Mikowski and I did go through the list yesterday, and there's about 52 loaners that are out and about. I think many students have forgotten that they borrowed a Chromebook, and it is time for you to return your Chromebook if you borrowed one and you no longer need it. So if you had a ticket in and your device came back and now you now have 2 Chromebooks, please make sure that you return any loaners that you had borrowed from the library. Students, if you were on the list, you would have gotten an email yesterday from me and Ms. Mikowski letting you know that it's time to return your loaner. We need to just double check to see who's got what. So we have that. And Tuesday morning, when testing does start, we will have a few on hand for students that are having some technical issues. The expectation is that students, you are making sure that you do have your Chromebook, that it is working, and that it does come to school fully charged every morning. If you have any questions, like always, as you find me in the hallway, just stop me and ask. Everyone have a beautiful Wednesday. Now back to our anchors.
There are about 3 weeks left until quarter 2 ends on January 22nd. This week is a great time to check Power School for missing assignments and have a conversation about your grade with your teachers. And now over to Dr. Reynolds.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Believe it or not, we are midway through the week after we return from winter break. It is getting chilly outside. It's below 30 degrees in the morning and probably will stay that way throughout most of the day in January. So make sure we're dressed appropriately. We are going to continue to go outside. Also, just a reminder that our food, we have breakfast in our homerooms. Everything is disposed of there. And the only other time we should be eating or where we should be eating is in the cafeteria, with the exception of with teacher permission here or there for extenuating circumstances. Again, we are eating in the cafeteria outside of just that breakfast time, and it is disposed of appropriately. Please, teachers, make sure we're enforcing that as well. That goes for in the hallway, classrooms, snacks, all of those things need to be put away, kept in the lockers unless you're bringing it to the cafeteria for lunchtime. Another reminder, Ski and Snowboard Club, information was sent home to families. It's all electronic and online. So if you're interested in Ski and Snowboarding Club, all forms are due this Friday. This Friday, that's a couple days from now. We have 3 Fridays to Mount Southington. That starts a week from this Friday. We have 3 Fridays. We're going to Mount Southington, and then a Saturday, February 3rd, we go to Mohawk Mountain. So if you're interested in those things, there are forms that were sent home electronically. It is posted in Parent Square. So make sure you talk to your parents or guardians and families about that if you're interested. And all those forms are due on Friday. With that, today we are staying in homeroom for an advisory lesson. We're going to continue on listening. Last week we talked a little bit about, and you guys did or last week before break, we talked about paying good attention. And today we're going to talk and do a lesson on listening for understanding. Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody that you felt like they were distracted? Probably. Whether or not you're talking to your friend and they're on their phone, maybe you're talking to somebody and they had their laptop open and they're like, and they're really just waiting for their turn to talk and or doing what they want to do, and they're not really listening to understand what you're saying. Today's lesson will be on listening for understanding. Teachers got the lesson, obviously is electronic as well, but I'm going to read a quote to you. And your teachers are going to read that to you as well. And you're going to start with that and your first impressions and talking a little bit about what it means to be a distracted, preoccupied listener, a passive or detached listener, a rushed listener, or a prejudiced listener. Those are four types of listeners you're going to talk about today. And then what does it mean for listening for understanding, not being one of those? And what are some skills you do, like providing encouragement, paraphrasing what they're saying. So you're not only being an active listener, a good listener, but listening for understanding. It's an important skill as you develop and you move forward, not only in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, move on to high school and beyond. And it really helps in your personal and social life as well, as you build relationships both in and outside of school. So I'm going to read a quote to you, and then your teachers are going to write that either on the board and or talk about it again to start us off. I know you believe you understand what you think I said, but I'm not sure you realize what you heard is not what I meant. I'm going to say it again. I know you believe you understand what you think I said, but I'm not sure you realize what you heard is not what I meant. And that's an example of something, maybe there was a disconnect between what was said, the intention, and what the listener understood. And that's where we're going to start today. And we are here until 8:50. You're in advisory and homeroom until 8:54. And you're going to work through that with your advisory and or your homeroom teachers. And then through 8:54, and hopefully we can talk a little bit about and practice our 3 P's of active listening, paying good attention, providing encouragement, and paraphrasing. And if we are able to practice those things before we leave, we'll be able to be better at listening for understanding. With that, back to our anchors to wrap us up for the day.
The A in PAWS stands for accountability. Be accountable for your actions and assignments each and every day.
Have a wonderful Wednesday, everyone.